Did you know that your leg muscles might lose up to 10% of their strength in just 2 weeks if you don't get the right vitamins? That's right. And what's even more concerning is that they might not always fully recover, even if you start exercising later. My name is Robert Peterson, MD. I'm 92 years old, and I've spent more than 60 years caring for thousands of patients. Over all those decades, one thing has become increasingly clear. Getting older isn't the only factor that weakens your legs. In fact, it's often just a sign that your body is asking for help. Today, I want to talk to you about 3 specific vitamins. When combined correctly, they've helped many of my patients feel stronger and steadier in just a few days. Some of these people had almost given up. They were afraid they'd never feel stable on their feet again, never walk to the corner store, never enjoy a stroll around the garden. But they did, and it started with feeding their body what it was lacking. You'll find out exactly which vitamins help support healthy muscle and nerve function. Plus, you'll learn how to take them in a simple, affordable way. We'll also talk about common mistakes that silently rob your legs of their strength. Let me begin with Evelyn's story. Before she discovered what her legs were really hungry for, she was too scared to even go downstairs. Evelyn is 78 years old. I've always admired her spirit. When she first came to see me, she could barely take a few steps without clinging to her son's arm. Her legs were trembling, shaking so much I thought she might collapse at any second. I remember her face like it was yesterday. She looked exhausted, and more than that, she looked ashamed, like she had somehow failed by growing weak. But she hadn't. Not at all. "Doctor," she said, "I don't understand. I eat the same as I always have. I try to move every day, but I just keep getting worse." Her son chimed in with a look of deep concern in his eyes. "My mom used to be strong," he said. "She's barely left the house since my dad passed away. Slowly, she started having trouble walking. She just seems defeated." I hear this kind of story all the time. People think, maybe this is just what aging feels like. But I don't accept that. Weak legs aren't inevitable. They're often the result of something far simpler, something that can be changed. In Evelyn's case, the problem was a deficiency in vital vitamins. She had no idea, and she's not alone. Most people don't realize what they're missing until their body starts to struggle. I asked her what she typically ate. "White bread, mostly," she said. "Some cheese. I don't really eat vegetables. I haven't had milk in months. And lately, I've been skipping breakfast. Just not hungry in the morning. That kind of diet is common, but it doesn't give your muscles and nerves what they need." "Evelyn," I told her, "nearly half of people your age are lacking at least one of the 3 most important vitamins for muscle and nerve strength. The longer your body goes without them, the harder it is to bounce back." She bowed her head and asked softly, "So what can I do?" I smiled and told her the good news. You don't have to change everything overnight. Just small steps, one day at a time. A couple of weeks later, she came back, and this time, no one was holding her hand as she walked through the door. I'll never forget the look in her eyes. She was surprised. "Happy," she said. "I never thought such little changes could make such a big difference. I feel like myself again." And she did. Evelyn's story isn't unique. Maybe you or someone close to you has started feeling that same unsteadiness, that same fear of falling, that same doubt, wondering whether anything will ever feel normal again. But it can. Your body can still rebuild itself. You just need to give it the tools. Now, think about this. When you swing your feet to the floor in the morning, do you hesitate? Does that first step feel unsure? Like your legs might not catch you? You're not alone. Research shows that nearly 60% of people over 65 are missing at least one of these essential vitamins. And it doesn't just cause muscle loss. It affects your nerves, balance, energy, and even sleep. The signs can sneak up on you. You may not even realize your body is trying to signal for help. Here are some quiet signs your legs may be starving for nutrition. Do your muscles feel weaker when you get up from a chair? Do your calves tremble when you walk for a while? Have you ever had to grab the edge of a table or rest your hand on the wall to stay steady? I've had patients tell me, "Doctor, I just got up to get a glass of water and my legs didn't feel like mine. They felt hollow, like they could give out." It's not just aging. It's not just being tired. It's not something you have to accept or live with. Often it's a message, a quiet plea from your body saying, I need support. I need fuel. And when you give your body what's been missing, when you replenish the nutrients it needs to repair and protect your muscles, you can see changes much faster than you think. This isn't about miracle cures or expensive treatments. It's about understanding what your body is built to need and giving it exactly that. In the next section, I'll tell you what these 3 key vitamins are. I'll explain how they work, how they interact with each other, and how to get them in your diet without expensive supplements or complex routines. Just small daily habits that make a world of difference. When your muscles are chronically lacking in vitamin D and B12, the nerves that control your movements gradually begin to weaken. Even if you're eating full meals every day, your legs may still feel like they're getting weaker and more unsteady over time. You might wonder why your strength continues to decline even when your diet seems complete. This is one of the hidden effects of long-term vitamin deficiency. Another common sign is when your legs start to feel tingly or numb. Do you ever get the strange sensation that ants are crawling on the soles of your feet, even when nothing is there? Or perhaps you felt a kind of numbness that begins in your calves and spreads down to your toes. This often happens when you sit for long periods, especially in one position. And have you ever felt a strange burning or heated sensation in your lower legs, only to touch them and find they feel completely normal or even cool to the touch? That kind of strange contrast between sensation and reality is a classic sign of B vitamin deficiency, particularly a shortage of vitamin B12. When your body doesn't have enough B12, the protective covering of your nerves, called a myelin sheath, starts to wear down. This sheath works like insulation on electrical wires, ensuring signals travel cleanly from your brain to your muscles. Without it, those signals become mixed up, and your muscles may not respond the way they should. Movements can feel uncoordinated or delayed, and you might find it harder to balance or stay steady on your feet. Another troubling sign is painful cramping in your muscles at night. Have you ever been jolted out of sleep by a sudden, sharp cramp in your leg? One that hurts so much you have to stand up and walk around just to get some relief? If your legs feel sore or bruised the next morning, even though nothing obvious happened, it's something you shouldn't ignore. This kind of cramping is often caused by a lack of both vitamin D and magnesium. These 2 nutrients work together to help your muscles contract and relax properly. Magnesium is essential for coordinating smooth muscle movement, while vitamin D helps your body absorb and use calcium, another mineral that supports healthy muscle function. When either one is missing, cramps and spasms become more frequent and more painful. There's also the issue of constant fatigue and a lack of motivation to move. Do you get tired after just a few steps? Maybe you used to enjoy walking to the market or tending to your garden, but now those activities feel exhausting or even impossible. You might find yourself preferring to sit or lie down, avoiding movement altogether. This isn't just a matter of getting older. It often points to undernourished muscles. Without enough vitamin D in your system, your body's overall energy levels drop. You may feel sluggish, your endurance fades, and your joints begin to ache more often. All of this can make it hard to stay active, even if you want to. Think about it. How many of these symptoms are you experiencing right now? Weakness, tingling, nighttime cramps, or fatigue. They're not just random problems. They're your body's way of asking for help. And if you or someone you know is dealing with more than one of these issues, it's time to pay attention. Don't feel ashamed or worried. It's never too late to start correcting these problems. The most important thing is recognizing them early and taking action. In many cases, addressing these vitamin deficiencies can start improving your strength and energy levels in just a matter of weeks. Now, let's take a closer look at why these 3 vitamins, B12, D, and magnesium, are so critical for maintaining healthy muscles, and why so many people are missing them even when they believe they're eating a proper diet. Vitamin B12 plays a vital role in nerve health. I often compare it to the plastic insulation that covers electrical wires. When we're young, this protective layer is thick and strong, allowing signals to travel quickly and clearly from our brain to our muscles. But as we age, and especially when we're not getting enough B12, that insulation starts to thin out. Your nerves become frayed and weak, and the signals from your brain no longer reach your muscles as efficiently. You might begin to lose your balance more easily or feel unsure when standing up. Many people tell me, "Doctor, I just wanted to carry a glass of water, but my legs shook as if they didn't belong to me." That's a clear sign the body has been running low on B12 for a long time. Next, there's vitamin D. This vitamin is like a key that keeps your muscles and bones strong. When we were children, just spending time in the sun allowed our skin to produce enough vitamin D. But as we grow older, we tend to spend more time indoors, and our skin also becomes less efficient at making it. Without enough vitamin D, our bones weaken and become more brittle, and our muscles begin to lose strength as well. Many people assume this is just what happens with aging, but in reality, it's often the result of a deficiency that can be corrected. I've seen many people improve their balance and feel more confident just by restoring their vitamin D levels. Finally, magnesium. This is one of the most overlooked but essential minerals. Magnesium works quietly behind the scenes, acting like a coordinator for your muscles. It ensures that your muscles can contract and relax in a smooth, rhythmic pattern. When your magnesium levels are low, your muscles can spasm suddenly. That's why cramps can hit out of nowhere, often in the middle of the night. These cramps can be so severe that you lose sleep, and the next day, you feel tired and sore for no clear reason. Long-term magnesium deficiency can also affect your heart rhythm and cause fatigue that just doesn't seem to go away. A common question I hear is, "But doctor, I eat a healthy diet, so why am I still deficient in these vitamins?" The answer often lies in how your body changes with time. As you age, your intestines don't absorb nutrients as efficiently. Your stomach also produces less acid, which is necessary for breaking down and absorbing vitamins. On top of that, many common medications like water pills, diabetes drugs, and acid reflux medications can quietly drain your body of essential vitamins and minerals without you even realizing it. The combination of B12, D, and magnesium deficiencies can have a powerful impact. Your nerves begin to fail, your muscles lose strength, and your bones become more fragile. But once you understand this, you can begin to restore what your body truly needs. Starting today, the less you move, the more you are caught in a cycle. Your muscles begin to weaken and the stiffness only increases. The pain creeps in slowly until simple actions like walking, sitting, or standing start to feel like a burden. Your muscles will contract more quickly, often when you least expect it, leading to discomfort or even injury. You may notice that your balance isn't what it used to be. That sense of security when standing on your feet begins to fade. Additionally, you run a higher chance of falling and fracturing bones, which only worsens the situation and fuels a cycle of inactivity. But here's the good news. Your body's capacity for self-healing is still remarkable. Even if it feels like too much has changed or that it's too late, you'll find that you are still capable of much more than you realize. When you begin providing it with enough of this essential trio, things start to shift. Your muscles begin to recover. Your nerve signals transmit more efficiently. You regain not only strength but confidence in movement. Everything starts with what you feed your body and how you treat it daily. In the next part, I'll walk you through the simplest method to get all three of these essential nutrients right from your kitchen. No need for expensive pill bottles or complicated supplements. This approach is practical, affordable, and more powerful than most realize. It's about small actions that lead to big change over time. Now, you may be thinking, this sounds too difficult. I'm not even sure where to begin. Don't worry, I'll make it easy for you. The truth is, you only need to take 3 straightforward steps that anyone can follow. These steps aren't expensive. They're simple enough to become part of your everyday routine. Let's begin with the first one, getting enough vitamin B12. This nutrient plays a critical role. It acts like a sheath around your nerves. Think of it like the insulation around electrical wires. It helps movement signals travel clearly and efficiently. Without enough B12, these signals weaken and coordination starts to suffer. You may experience tingling, fatigue, or muscle weakness without even realizing why. But here's the catch. Many people don't absorb enough B12 from food anymore. It's not necessarily about what you eat. The body, especially the stomach, gradually stops producing the acid needed to absorb this vitamin properly. So even if you're eating normally, your body might still fall short. Try including small amounts of vitamin B12, rich foods. A chunk of boiled chicken is a good start. If you don't enjoy meat, go for a boiled egg and some green vegetables. Yogurt, plain and simple, is another excellent source of B12. Consistency is key. These small portions added to your regular meals make a big difference over time. Just give it a few weeks. You'll begin to notice that your strength is coming back in ways that may surprise you. Now let's talk about vitamin D. This one is essential for maintaining strong bones and muscles. When vitamin D levels fall too low, muscles weaken rapidly. Bones become fragile. It becomes easy to lose balance or even collapse suddenly while walking. You might think it's just age or fatigue, but often it's a lack of vitamin D working silently in the background. Many people don't store enough vitamin D. Either they don't eat enough of the right foods, like fatty fish, or they spend too much time indoors away from sunlight. A little sunlight each day can make a world of difference. You don't need to stand out in the blazing sun. Just 15 minutes each morning where the light touches your face and arms is enough. Try to include foods that naturally contain vitamin D. Sardines and salmon are great choices. If seafood isn't part of your diet, try vitamin D-enriched plant-based or dairy milk. These options provide a good nutritional backup. Add them to your breakfast or lunch, and make them part of your weekly plan. A couple of servings each week will help restore your levels and strengthen your body's foundation. Lastly, let's focus on magnesium, a quiet but incredibly important mineral. Magnesium plays a vital role in helping your muscles contract and relax without pain or tension. It acts like a conductor in an orchestra, keeping everything in harmony. Without it, you may find yourself waking up in the middle of the night with sharp leg cramps or spasms that interrupt your rest. Fortunately, supplements aren't necessary. You can get magnesium naturally from food. Try eating a small handful of almonds or pumpkin seeds daily. Add leafy greens like spinach or Swiss chard to your meals at least once a day. These foods don't just support your muscles. They also calm your nerves and help regulate sleep. If you often get cramps at night, try eating half a banana before going to bed. It's a simple trick, but many people find it incredibly effective. Timing also matters more than most people realize. Include chicken or eggs for breakfast or lunch. In the afternoon or evening, eat leafy greens and seeds rich in magnesium. And when you cook eggs, avoid frying them on high heat. High temperatures can destroy delicate nutrients and make digestion harder. These small changes can create a powerful shift. I've seen people recover muscle strength faster than they imagined, not because of medicine or surgery, but simply through proper food and consistency. You don't need an expensive treatment plan. All you need is awareness, a little discipline, and patience. If your legs feel weaker today than they did yesterday, do not lose hope. Your body hasn't given up on you. It still has the power to heal and regain strength, as long as you start providing the right support. In the next part, I want to share some real-life stories from people who made these small changes. Not only did they start walking more confidently, but they also rediscovered faith in their own physical strength. Let me introduce you to Michael. He's 82 years old. He worked as a mechanic his entire life. Someone used to hard work and long hours. When he first came to me, he could only walk for 5 minutes each evening before needing to sit down. The cramps in his legs were unbearable. I remember how he sat on the edge of his bed, sweating from the pain. He looked me in the eye and said, "I thought I'd spend the rest of my life in a wheelchair. I didn't want to be a burden to my family." I'll never forget the look on his face when I told him, "Your body still has hope." He wasn't weak. His muscles were simply exhausted from years without the right nutrition. Once we gave his body the tools it needed, sunlight, sardines, almonds, green vegetables, it started to respond. Slowly but surely, he began walking farther. The cramps faded. His energy returned. These results weren't miraculous. They were the result of natural healing, patience, and proper nourishment. You can do it too. Your body is ready to recover. It just needs the right support, one small change at a time. A fantastic thing started to happen. At first, Michael wasn't entirely convinced. He was skeptical, hesitant. After all, nothing had worked for him in the past. But deep down, he knew he had nothing more to lose. So he decided to give it a try. We started simple, just a basic plan. Every morning, he would sit outside for 10 minutes. He didn't walk or stretch, just sat still and breathed deeply. The warm morning sun gently kissed his arms as he sat quietly, almost meditatively. At lunch, he added one small change, a boiled egg or a piece of salmon. No fancy diet, no supplements, just that. At night, he began a new habit. Before bed, he ate half a banana. That was it. Nothing else changed. He kept doing his usual routine. After the first week, there didn't seem to be any difference. Everything felt the same, but he stayed with it because he had committed to trying. Then, something subtle shifted. After the third week, he came to me and said, "I don't get nighttime cramps anymore." That small sentence held so much weight. It meant something was working. Slowly, he began venturing outside on his own. He started walking into his garden again, without being pushed, without being reminded. That little space of greenery, once ignored, became part of his daily rhythm. 2 months passed. One afternoon, he entered my office. He didn't wait. He dragged a chair over and sat down by himself. No assistance, no cane in his hand. I looked at him, a bit surprised, and then I saw it. He was grinning. His eyes, framed by deep wrinkles, sparkled with quiet pride. It wasn't a miracle. It wasn't magic. What had changed was that his body, for the first time in a long time, had started receiving what it needed. A few small things, just enough to awaken the strength that had never left him. It had only gone quiet. You are not any different. Whether you're 60, 70, 80, or even 90, your legs still have strength in them. Your body still listens. You only have to give it the signal to act. A signal that says, "I'm ready. I'm still determined to keep going." And I want you to feel the same way. Trust me, even the smallest change, one tiny step, can send a message to your body. When you do that, something amazing happens. Your body begins to respond. You begin to feel again. You realize that independence is not gone. It's still within you. It just got hidden under years of neglect, weakness, and that quiet voice telling you it's too late. But it's not too late. If Michael could do it, if Evelyn could do it, and if hundreds of my patients could do it, you absolutely can too. Your legs are not broken. Your strength is not gone. It's just waiting to be used again. And all it takes is that first signal. So, I want you to remember this. I can still make a difference. I'm not powerless. This body, no matter how long it's been ignored, can still move, can still stand, and can still support you. Many of my patients found their way back to movement and freedom through the same simple actions. Nothing complicated. Nothing expensive. Just consistent effort, tiny adjustments, and a bit of patience. You don't have to run a marathon. You don't even have to walk a mile. Just sit in the sun for 10 minutes. Breathe. Add something nourishing to your plate. A boiled egg, a handful of almonds, a bit of fish. Let your body wake up again. Don't rush your meals. Let your body take in the food and use it. Feed it early in the day. Let the sun touch your skin gently. Let your muscles feel warmed again. Let your bones know they're still needed. And then, over time, let yourself be surprised. Because you will be. One day, maybe soon, you'll realize the cramps are gone. The aches are less. And maybe, just maybe, you'll stand up without reaching for something. Don't wait until you're completely worn out to begin. Just like Evelyn and Michael, you don't need to hit rock bottom before making a change. Supporting your body now will help it heal faster and more effectively. You might be thinking, "I'm already too old. Do these small things really matter?" The answer is yes. They matter more than you think. It's the little things done consistently, day after day, that lead to the biggest changes. You don't need expensive medicines or complicated diets. All you need is one small step to begin with. If you feel overwhelmed by too much advice, then just remember these 2 short sentences. I'm not powerless. Each day, I'll take one tiny action to benefit my body. Say this to yourself each morning when you wake up, and each night before bed, let that quiet strength sink into you. Slowly, your body will begin to respond. Little by little, you will feel the change. Maybe you're sitting in your favorite chair right now, or in your kitchen, thinking about everything we've discussed. Maybe you still have doubts, and that's completely normal. But if you've made it this far, then I believe something inside you is beginning to shift. A small spark of hope, maybe a seed that says, I'm still strong. I still have something left in me. It's not about how old you are. It's about how willing you are to take small, steady steps forward every single day. So, tomorrow morning, I want to ask you to try something simple. When you wake up, have a good breakfast. Step outside. Let the morning sun warm your skin. And tell yourself, I'm doing this because I deserve to live a healthy, independent life. If you found this conversation helpful, please consider subscribing. And let us know in the comments where you're watching from. We'd love to hear from you. Also, tell me what symptoms you've been experiencing and the first thing you want to change. I'll do my best to read and respond to each message. You don't have to go through this alone. If you know someone who's struggling, maybe a friend, a brother, or a parent, please share this video with them. Sometimes just one piece of advice can change an entire chapter of someone's life. Thank you for spending this time with me. I'm Robert Peterson, MD, and I believe that no matter your age or situation, you can always take a step to improve your health and well-being. Like, comment, share, and don't forget to subscribe.